Welcome back, everybody, to our playthrough of Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Feels like it's been a while, but as of this recording, I officially have power again. It had been 11 long days, but finally, after Hurricane Sandy and the little nor'easter that we got, I am back and in action. And you might notice a different time on our clock, and as well as a different amount of rupees, but we're still in the same place. That's because while I was recording, I actually lost power while recording. That was a long time ago, like the Monday or so, whenever it was. But when I lost power, of course, the Wii shut off, so yeah, I had to kind of do all the stuff we did in the last two segments all over again. This wasn't so bad, though. Could have been a lot worse. But I ended up actually... Oh, the ferry. I ended up getting through the Skulltula house a lot faster than I usually do, so it was all okay. Now, we are in the Great Bay Temple where we were going to leave off. You notice these 4 torches, and you notice I also got our Great Fairy Creepy Mask out. That's because there's a fairy in the very first... This isn't even really a room, it's like an enclave, a vestibule, the entrance, if you will. Use my GRE words there. And by lighting up all those torches, we get the first chest where the fairy is. It's much easier to do this with a Deku stick and the bunny hood, but seeing as how I only have the bunny hood and not the stick itself, yeah. Purple fairies, they are royal, they are majestic, they are still fairies. And this is a huge water wheel, that's right. The main intriguing part of this whole temple, I always felt, was the fact that it's got a lot of mechanical structures in it, and I always found that to be really cool, in a way. Not necessarily in, you know, just the fact that it looks cool, which it does, but that it takes a different step from the usual, as you'll see later. Anyway, let's see. I always forget that I have to, we're gonna be pushing a lot of, or turning a lot of dials, basically. I think this one's first, since it, yeah, if you notice it matches colors. Matching colors of these wheels and the pumps to which they go is gonna be an important thing to remember in this temple. That's unfortunate. That is the wrong one to have done, I think? Pretty sure it is, but anyway, fairy. Sound still makes me giggle. By the way, there's still a fairy in here. Oh look, an enemy. Oh man. Found it. Yeah, I don't remember... I think this is the last temple that they do, you kill an enemy to get a fairy. In Stone Tower, they actually make them, you know, a challenge to find. No, we can't have done that. We have to have it so where we can get back up. I'm really glad we focused on that whole movement, you know. Couldn't just make it fast or anything. Yeah, get used to that. That's gonna be a thing in this temple. Alright. This is the one. No. Where should I just grab or pull? Now, a lot of people will tell you that this is the worst temple in the game. And if I had to be perfectly honest, I wouldn't agree, but I wouldn't disagree. because really, I don't think any of the temples in this game are really worse than any other. They're all kind of horrible in their own special way, minus possibly the Woodfall Temple, because it's really not that bad at all, to be perfectly honest. All that stuff we'll address all those things later. Yeah, this is the main room, and we'll be going to a lot of different places from here. First of which is to... Damn it. That's okay. What was I saying? Oh, the last 3 temples, though, are really just... They all have their different characteristics of why they're bad. By the way, there's a jar there that is really hard to hit. That... Well, anyway, I'll hit this eventually. Probably try just hitting it like this. But each temple really can be... Look at it. Oh, come on. Anyway, there we go. Yeah. Each temple, the Great Base, Snowhead, and Stone Tower, all have their characteristics of why they're bad. This one, if I had to say that this one was the worst, I'd say it not because of the temple itself, but because of the boss. And for those of you who know, it's not going to be fun when we come to him. For those who don't know, well, you'll see. But basically, the navigation in this temple is not, while not fun, it's also not, like, terrible. Snowhead is probably the one that has the worst navigational aspect, because it's just a straight shot upwards, and it can be quite difficult to remember exactly where you've been and all that kind of thing. But no, this one is just... This one can be annoying if purely because of how many times you have to go back and forth between all the different rooms. So I guess in a similar way, but here it's more manageable, I feel like, because it kind of pretty explicitly spells it out for you. In Snowhead Temple, it doesn't make a very clear indication. Here you just kind of have to have your wits about you, and it's not as difficult. Pretty sure I can reach that with a hook shot. First big chest of the game. Of the temple, that is. Of course, it's the map. Relatively unimportant, but whatever. That room we will get to later. Let's see, for now, I guess we just go right back out. Or not back out, but this way into a different room. Kill the Dexy hands. I think if you go that way, I think they throw you actually onto the landing that has the map, but I'm probably wrong on that. This is a small hallway that there's a... Can we stand on these as Zora? Yeah, I guess we can. I couldn't remember if it was standing on them as regular Link or Zora Link. One of them makes you sink, so I guess as regular Link does. Oh, that's unfortunate. Also unfortunate. Come on, Zora Link. Don't get your ass handed to you by this stupid thing. There we go. What is its name? Oh, guess I'll never find out. Oh, it appears later. I'll just look at it then. Yay, fairy. I seem to remember that a lot of the fairies in this temple are, oh, you killed the enemies. Here's a chest, or here is the fairy, or that kind of thing. A few in bubbles. Ah, this room. You might notice we need something. You'll never guess what it is we need. But, uh-oh. Shit. Oh, that kind of worked out pretty well, to be honest. Oh, God. Okay, what are these things? Come on. It won't even let me, like, say what their name is. It's weird. Yeah, don't worry about using magic down here. Go see, we get it right back. This is... Smolky? Yeah. Good. But that other big chest, can you guess what it has? I mean... It's not late enough for it to be either the dungeon item or the master key. Boss key, rather. So it is... a pie! Oh, wait, no. It's just a compass. Right. Okay. Ooh. And, there's a fairy in this room that, from what I remember, should be... Of course, this is one of the lamer parts because... Okay, good. If I remember correctly... Oh, those are Dexy hands. It's down there somewhere. Of course, they made it as hard to figure out as possible. I think it's right underneath that bridge. Or they're... This one's hard to get because you can, like, zip past it really quickly and have to come all the way back. But we'll try... I'm gonna try swimming the other direction. That'll give us a little bit of time, I think. Yeah, there it is. Got it. Perfect. Is in a jar. Dick move. Just saying. Now here's the difficult part. Figuring out what room we went through to come out of that room. Looks like... Next room we'll want to go in is one of the lower ones. Like this one, maybe. Oh, jeez. Those guys. Yes, we do want to be in this room next. Yeah, that's a pretty big indication right there of what we have to do, so... If you didn't already know what the dungeon item is, that probably was a pretty clear giveaway. Gee, it's so squishy. If only we could have some kind of, you know, weapon that would make it more firm. But perhaps such items can exist only in the dreams of dungeon explorers such as ourselves. Surely we will never know. Gee, everything sure is preparing me, giving me items and stuff, leading to another room. Another room on the map that's all on its own that has a treasure chest in it. Whatever could that possibly mean? There's nothing here. Okay, guess it's time to go. Oh, I guess not. Nowhere. Certainly wouldn't be... Right above us? Oh. That, if you'd done it a little earlier that way, it would have been a more dramatic reveal. So yeah, this is, Igor? No, that's from Magic the Gathering. This is... something. iPhone. iPad. monster. Who is horribly annoying. But yeah, this guy's covered in itty-bitty eyes that will become very annoying to you. And this is not a good strategy to do right here. Just getting right in the thick of things and slashing. But it's one that I'm familiar with. I do this a lot, so... in a way, it kind of helps to get rid of some of these things quickly. But if I'm not mistaken, they do eventually respawn, and he just gets as big as he was before, or something like that. And look, we already dropped down to a little bit, but that kind of cleared the way a little bit for us. And there, the idea is to obviously shoot him in the eye when it's open, of course. And if this seems tedious right now, don't worry, it'll get more difficult. Albeit slightly. See, you're just jacking my style here. I don't appreciate that. And he always opens his eyes right when he knows that there's a nice protective shield of squishy eyes around him. And I'm kind of wasting... There we go. This is why it's good to have your big quiver at this point, because that way you can just launch arrows and hope that it hits eventually, and more often than not it does, except then, because the game's a dick sometimes. These might have arrows in them, these jars. A more tedious approach is resorting... Damn it! Is resorting to the hook shot, which I don't know if I've ever tried, so it may not work. Oh, and yeah, that's quite a negative draw, too. The fact that it brings the enemies towards you. No arrows. I mean, I appreciate the hearts, but I need ammunition. Damn it! Oh, no. Right now. There we go. Yeah, and once you hit him, I guess that was 3 times. It's sort of... This is where it becomes like a free-for-all. He just starts charging from wall to wall, always very randomly, and all these things. It's best to get rid of all these aquamoebic eyes before tackling on the mini-boss himself, which is not too terribly difficult, thankfully. Oh, and I hit him with a circle attack. Very convenient. Alright, so we get the dungeon item, which, yeah, you pretty much already know what it is. What could it be? What could it be? What could it be? What could it be? That's always what I imagine him saying. Ice arrows! Yeah, now we get to freeze squishy things. Yeah, totally fun and exciting. Speaking of totally fun and exciting, I think that's enough total fun and excitement for this segment. So, next time we'll continue through the rest of the half of the temple. I usually consider the dungeon item the halfway point, plus we have a good amount of fairies too. So yeah, next time we'll do the rest of the temple, maybe even get to the boss, which is awful. So thank you all for watching. Until next time, see you all later.